Hi, we're back at Rising Fawn Gardens. We're continuing with our virtual wildflower tour this spring because we know that a lot of people are inside right now and can't get out. And I wanted to talk to you today about this wildflower, which is called the fire pink. It should be called the fire red because it's brilliantly red, as you can see. The name of it is, the Latin name is Silene virginica. It's one of the first red wildflowers that comes out in the southeast in the spring. It has a very long period of time during which it flowers. You can see it anywhere from April to August. It likes rich woodlands, but it can also grow on dry and rocky slopes. Sometimes you see it in clusters like this, or more individually where there's just a single plant with a few flowers. Each one of the plants only lives 2 to 3 years, though it's considered a perennial. The plants will come back year after year, but after a 2 to 3 year period, it dies out. The identification is easy. It's 5 brilliantly red petals on the flower, and at the end of each petal, there is a notch, a kind of inward point that's a defining characteristic of it. You can see that the flower itself has this sort of tube shape and it opens near the end. A lot of flowers that have that tube shape where they open near the end, like Virginia bluebells, for example, are often pollinated by a creature that has a proboscis. So in this case, it's a ruby-throated hummingbird that does it, because it has the long beak that we associate with hummingbirds, and it's able to approach, put its beak down into the flower to get at the nectar and pollinates in the process. The stems are relatively long. It can be 6 to maybe 20 inches in height, and usually a bit less than 20 inches. The leaves come in opposite pairs, and there will be between 2 and 8 of them between the top of the stem and the bottom of the stem. But if you touch the stems with your fingers, the first thing that you detect about fire pinks is that they're sticky. So they're hairy, and they're glandular, and they put out a kind of oil that traps small insects. Another common name for fire pinks is catchfly, and it gets the name catchfly because the stickiness and the hairiness of these stems, insects will adhere to it, and you can often see stranded insects on the fire pinks. It has a close relative called royal catchfly, which is a very rare flower in many areas that it shares a common name with. So, thanks for joining us.